Hey everyone, here are three movies you should watch this new week. The first one, Hijack 1971. This film is a Korean film and it follows the story of some passengers that are flying on the plane to somewhere and the plane is hijacked and diverted to somewhere else. And this film was so good. Of the three films on this list, this one is my favorite of all. And I feel like why I loved it so much was the way the story was portrayed. It was very intense, very suspenseful. And the fact that this film takes place fully on a plane, it adds this claustrophobic feeling to it and adds so much intensity to the film. And the way this film explores themes of heroism, loyalty, greediness, and the effects of prejudice on certain people, like it was done so well. Another thing I liked with this film was the bad guy. I like that they gave the bad guy some backstory. Like you could understand why the bad guy was acting the way he was acting, and it made him a much more sympathetic character. That even when something bad happens to the character, you feel bad about it. And it was just something I loved the storytelling and the execution of this film. Plus, it was influenced by real life story. Do I need to say more? The second one on this list is titled The Instigators. This one stars Matt Damon and Casey Affleck as two criminals that try to pull off an heist with terrible information. That's the way I could describe it, and the things that follows after it. One of the things I really appreciated about this film was the chemistry between Casey Affleck and Matt Damon. Like their chemistry was so seamless. I feel like that's one of the things that carried this film so much because the banter between these two characters, the way they relate to themselves, it was just so wholesome. Even though they were not best of friends, like they literally met themselves for the first time while getting together for this job. But the way they relate to themselves was something that I really liked, and it had this comedic feel to it. Like Matt Damon especially. Matt Damon's character is like a rookie criminal, and he just asks some questions. He does some things that you would not expect a legit criminal to do, and it's just something that makes his character very interesting and makes the whole film just interesting together. And this film has an ensemble cast. I've already mentioned Casey Affleck and Matt Damon. It also stars people like Ong Chow, Ving Rhames, Jack Harlow, Ron Perlman, and some other people that I can't remember. And the star-studded cast was another thing that made me care for this film and enjoy the ride. You have to watch this one. If you like heist comedy films, you will love it. And the last film on this list, Bob Marley, One Love. This film was fantastic. From the title, I'm sure you can tell it's a story about Bob Marley. The way this film was explored and executed was brilliant. I loved every minute of it. From how they portrayed him as he made his music, how he came up with his music, and his philosophy. I don't want to go in depth to the philosophy thing because it is much more brilliant if you experience it on your own. The way they explored his philosophy and who he was something that was just eye-opening and enlightened me while I watched it. The performances from the actors, whoa, incredible. The actor that played Bob Marley, he had this charisma that captured who Bob Marley is. Like when you are seeing this guy, you feel like you're actually seeing Bob Marley. He was so charismatic in the role and he embodied it so well. While I was making research for this video, I realized that the person that played Bob Marley is an actor I have seen before in some other films. I think he has even been in a Marvel film before, and I could not recognize him while I was watching this film. That should tell you how good his performance in this film was. And man, he knocked it out of the park. And the other actors, the other characters as well, their performance were stellar. One last thing I loved about this film was the symbolism of it. They used a kind of symbolism to tell some stories with this film, and it was just done in a very effortless way. And it does not belittle the audience. It trusts that the audience is smart enough to understand what they are saying, and it was something that just made me appreciate this film so much. Man, I love this film. Like after I finished watching this film, I had to go download Bob Marley's songs just to experience it all over again. That was how much I enjoyed this film, and I'm sure if you watch it, you'll get that same feeling from it. So those are three new movies you should watch this week. What other movies do you think anyone should watch this week? Comment below, and you could be helping someone to figure out what to watch. Thank you for watching. See you in the next video. Cheers.